This is the solution for the logs question on page 491 of Text and Test 4, question 25. The first thing that you might notice about this particular question is that there doesn't appear to be any base written in for any of these terms. Well, if you've got log questions and there's no apparent base, the assumption is that the base is base 10. So I'm just going to note that initially. And it may or may not be necessary to refer to that later on in the question. We'll see what happens. Okay, so looking at the setup of the question, I can see that I've got subtraction, so that immediately directs me towards rule 2 then from the log tables. And rule 2 allows me to turn subtraction into division. Have your log tables open next to you, and don't forget to pause the video and try and work ahead yourself and then play and see if you're correct. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to be able to rewrite the left-hand side of the equation as log 2x over x minus 7. That's just applying rule 2. And now you'll see that I've got one term on each side of the equal sign. On the left-hand side, I have this log term. And on the right-hand side, I have this log term. And you might remember in indices, once I had one term on each side of the equation and I had the same base, I could cancel the bases off and work with the exponents. Well, there's a similar idea at play here. I've got one log term each side of the equal sign. They're the same base, they're base 10. So I can actually cancel the logs off on both sides and just work with the contents of the log. So in this case then, I'm left with 2x over x minus 7 equals 3. So I can bring my denominator up across and multiply, and then I can go ahead and solve. So I'm going to end up with 2x equals 3x minus 21. And finally, x equals 21. Now, when I get just one solution, it's unlikely that I'll have to disallow it, but it's still a good idea to go back and check. And again, I have to check it for both logs that contain an x. So first of all, checking for 2x. In that case, I get 42. It's positive, that's all I'm really worried about, so that's fine. And I'll give that a tick. And then I want to check it for x minus 7. And again, all I'm concerned about is that I don't end up with a negative result, and it's fine in this case again, so tick. And my solution in this case, so, is x equals 21 and no problems with the checking for positives.